Introducing freestorywriter.com, the first 100% free comprehensive writing prompt and rough draft story generator. With thousands of different options to choose from across 28 story-impacting categories, Free Story Writer offers unlimited, endless writing possibilities to get your creativity flowing. Here's a rundown of how it works. If we take a look at the app, we'll see that the app is composed of numerous categories with thousands of story options that make up the story prompt. First, let's select a genre. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's go over what the buttons for each category do. First, you'll see a button labeled Randomize. When Randomize is clicked, this tells the app that you do want to make a selection, but you want the app to make the selection from the list for you. This can add a fun element to building your storyline. The Ignore button tells the app that you don't want to input a selection for this category. We obviously don't want to do this for our genre, but all categories have this feature in the event that you want to leave a category out. The Let ChatGPT Pick button tells the app to include instructions in the generated prompt for ChatGPT to insert a selection for this category, which also creates a fun twist when generating your storyline. You can also select multiple options for any category by holding in the Control button on your keyboard while selecting options, or simply selecting multiple options when you're on your mobile device. And finally, we have an Add button to add your own options into any categories that you choose. Since we're not going to do that for our genre, we'll walk through that feature in a moment. Let's choose a single main genre. For this tutorial, we'll go with comedy. Next, we'll add a little bit of style with our subgenre. This feature lets the app know that although comedy is your main genre, you would also like to add elements of another genre as well. Let's go with adventure. And now, to narrow down on your style even more, let's say that you have a favorite writer, director, author, or actor whose style is what you want to model your story after. With the written in the style of option, this selection will tell the app to instruct ChatGPT to make the humor, dialogue, and other elements of the story reflect those of your chosen styles. If this is not something that you would like to add into your prompt, feel free to use the Ignore button for this category. And just as a reminder, you can also select multiple options in the section by holding in the Control button or making multiple selections on your mobile device. And now that we've made our selections, let's continue to build our story prompt. Moving on, we will select our world type option. We'll go with a city of shifting mirrors that traps people inside reflections. That sounds interesting. Now, we'll select our world timeline option. This option is set to let users manually enter the exact date that they want. To speed up this tutorial, we'll quickly make the rest of our selections. We have main character's type, which gives us our main character species. We have main character's gender. For main character's attitude, let's add several options to make our character's personality a little more diverse. For our main character's job option, we'll make him an adventurer of fortune. Now for our main character's home type. Our main character will live in an apartment above a bar. Sounds pretty adventurous. Main character's transportation type? We'll go with a bicycle. Now, we'll begin adding additional characters and other elements to the story prompt. Let's select our main character's close ally. Again, this option will select the character's species. To speed up this video, we'll continue adding our selections a little faster. Here we will select the main character's close ally's gender, attitude, and job. For this selection, let's let ChatGPT decide. Before we get ahead of ourselves, as we mentioned earlier, we also have an Add button that will allow us to add our own options to any category. For any option that you choose to add your own options to, know that you can select options from both the drop-down menus and the Add Your Own Options feature simultaneously. Now that we know how to select or enter any options that we want to include into our prompt, Let's skip past the rest of the options that we entered and get to the prompt generator itself. Just for context, we've now added elements for our main character's rival, our main character's love interest, added story conflict, story locations, and the type of ending that we want our story to have. Now we'll add the word count that we want to create our actual story summary in. Note that this is not our final rough draft story. This is only a preview for you to bring back to the free Story Writer app to have the text-to-speech reader read for you. But we'll get to that in a second. Once we click Generate Prompt, the app will compile all of the information that we've given it to create a pre-scripted prompt with your added information included. This will tell ChatGPT how to create your story summary. Once we click the copy button to copy our generated prompt to our clipboard, we'll select the Open ChatGPT button, which will open ChatGPT in a new tab. Now, we'll head over to our new tab where we open ChatGPT and paste in our generated prompt and hit enter. Now, as you can see, ChatGPT is compiling all of your information into a unique story summary. For the best outcomes, make sure that you select an amount of words of 2,000 or less since the summary is just a preview to see if you like the story so far. Let's copy the generated summary from ChatGPT and bring it back into Free Story Writer. Now comes the fun part. After we paste the generated story into our text-to-speech reader, we can click Read Story to have the on-screen reader read your story summary.
Themselves with every passing hour, reality itself is a labyrinth. The place is infamous for trapping wanderers within their own reflections. Each pane of glass and every mirrored surface is a possible prison. Amid this dazzling and dangerous wonderland lives Jack Rourke, a big-hearted yet clumsy brawler who earns his keep as an adventurer of fortune, always hunting for the next treasure, scheme, or half-baked get-rich-quick plan. Jack lives in a run-down apartment above a bar, where he spends half his time dodging debt collectors and the other half getting thrown out of the bar below for breaking chairs in fistfights he rarely starts but always escalates. His sole reliable mode of transportation is a squeaky bicycle, useless for speed but surprisingly useful in a world where cars get lost in mirror mazes. His closest ally is Milo 7, a valiant cyborg locksmith who can crack any safe, pick any lock, and reroute any security grid. Together, they survive by plundering relics from forgotten corners of Eidolon. Their current target, a cache of nano-arrows, whispered to be the only weapons capable of piercing through reflections to destroy mirror phantoms, strange entities that hunt the unlucky souls trapped within their own doubles. But standing in their way is Selene Vera, a beastly and calculating crime lord who rules Eidolon's underworld. Selene thrives in the mirror mazes, bending them to her will, capturing anyone foolish enough to cross her. She has kidnapped Jack more times than he can count, always dangling ransom demands or escape challenges just to watch him sweat. Their rivalry is brutal, personal, and weirdly flirtatious, though Jack would never admit he sometimes respects her twisted cunning. Complicating matters is Jack's secret love interest, Clara Wynn, a struggling but big-hearted actress who dreams of starring in productions outside of Eidolon, if she could ever escape the reflective prison of the city. Jack risks everything to protect her, knowing Selene often uses Clara as bait for her ruthless games. Their pursuit of the nano-arrows takes them across the strangest reaches of the mirror world. An abandoned lighthouse at the edge of a fractured glass ocean, whose beacon burns with trapped souls. A crumbling airport, where planes taxi eternally in mirrored runways, never reaching the skies. An alien mountain that grows and shrinks depending on who gazes upon it, guarded by phantom reflections of climbers who never returned. And finally, a shattered amusement park, where rides operate themselves, powered by the laughter of reflections that can never leave. The adventure is chaotic, filled with slapstick mishaps, Jack tripping through mirror doors, Milo 7 getting magnetized to reflective walls, Clara improvising her way through mirror doppelganger auditions, but also moments of haunting suspense as Selene closes in. In the climax, Jack finally claims the nano-arrows only to discover their true purpose. They don't kill reflections, they create them. Selene reveals she engineered the entire quest, hoping Jack would forge a reflection powerful enough to replace him. When Jack fires the arrow, he inadvertently splits himself in two, one clumsy, big-hearted Jack, and one cunning, mirror-perfect version of himself. But the twist ending turns everything upside down. Selene allies herself with the clumsy Jack, realizing his chaos disrupts Eidolon's balance more than any weapon ever could. Meanwhile, the mirror-perfect Jack takes Clara's hand, stepping into the reflections as if it were the true world. Was the real Jack always the reflection? Or has Eidolon claimed another soul in its endless hall of mirrors? The city shifts again, leaving readers laughing at the absurdity, shivering at the eerie implications, and aching for a resolution that never quite comes.
That's a pretty compelling story summary for just making a few quick selections. But what if it's not quite what you wanted? Well, let's head back to ChatGPT to make some changes. If you look at the end of ChatGPT's response, with every story summary that ChatGPT gives, it will ask if you would like to revise, keep, or generate a new summary. ChatGPT will generate unlimited new summaries, but for this video let's go with revise. For this example, let's ask ChatGPT to make the story have a happy ending. As you can see, ChatGPT has now revised your story summary to have a happy ending. So now, let's copy the new story summary and bring it back to the free Story Writer app. With our newly generated story summary copied to our clipboard, let's paste the new story summary back into the on-screen text-to-speech reader window and click Read Story again.
A dazzling labyrinth of shifting mirrors, every wall, street, and building reflects back endless versions of reality. Wander too far, and you may vanish into your own reflection. Amid this parallel cityscape.
Since we know how this tool works now, let's click Stop Reading to stop the on-screen reader. Let's agree for the sake of the video that we're now happy with our story. Let's head back to ChatGPT and let ChatGPT know that we're happy with the story so that ChatGPT will create our rough draft version of the story, complete with plot outline, scene suggestions, title suggestions, and a final story summary. ChatGPT will confirm that you're ready to have your story and contents generated. We'll confirm that we're ready to generate and ChatGPT will do the rest. From here, we'll highlight and copy the story details from the ChatGPT response and paste and save them into a text editor to work on later. Once we've saved our work, we can build the rest of the story details in our own time. For now, you can head back over to freestorywriter.com and generate unlimited stories. Simply click the Reset All Options button to clear the option selections and start again. freestorywriter.com was built to help all creative types across the board. Anyone who is constantly needing to come up with new ideas for a book, a movie, content creation, a D&D game, or just want to read new exciting stories to your children can have endless fun without ever having to spend a dime. We will continuously expand our libraries to bring you even more features to expand your writing arsenal and step into the storytelling role that you were born for. Until next time, don't forget to like and share the video, follow and subscribe to stay up to date, and above all else, enjoy.